So Norquise, I want to thank you for coming on Becoming Carmen in this space today to just talk about education, choice, why it's important from a parent's perspective. Um, Before we started today, I had you listen to a song, the Earth Song by Michael Jackson. And I just wanted to set the tone, for this conversation. And I also want to bring something back to your remembrance that you said to me. I don't know how long ago, because you're always saying something to me. But you said to me that if Carmen just get out of Carmen way, she will see how great she is, or something like that, or something's going to happen. And you've also said to me, like, and I've shared this with other people before, don't be moved by what you hear or see. Just be still and know you're God. So today I'm just in this space because you are a warrior mother. You're someone that I follow, that I glean behind, that I aspire to be. You are a friend of mine. You are an encourager. But before you're anything else, you are an advocate for education, and you're an advocate for change. So can you just start by telling me why education is so important and why choice matters to parents? And I'm going to let you continue because we're becoming Carmen and someone's knocking on my door right now. But I want you to start this conversation while I just check and see who's at my door. Why is education important and choice just in the state?
I think that the first thing that comes to mind is that knowledge is power. And so without knowledge, people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's what the word of God says. And I may not be quoting it exactly, but people do things over and over again and they get the same results, or they do things simply because they don't know anything different. And so once they learn knowledge, then from that knowledge, you get power, and the power to make change in your own lives. So I would think that's the first thing that comes to mind about why education is important, because education brings knowledge, and from that knowledge is going to come the power, because it's going to give you power to make the changes that you need to make within your life, community, your family, or whatever it may be that God has set you out to do. I would say the reason for choice, why choice is so important. I am a product of Parkway School District because my parents were given a choice many, many years ago. Prior to that, I lived in St. Louis City area, and I attended Mark Twain Elementary. And I can't tell you a whole lot about my experience at Mark Twain because before that we lived in Kansas City, and then I came back here and was at Mark Twain for literally 1 year. And then I was bused after that to Parkway. And I believe that started at about third grade, if I remember correctly. And I would say with that choice, obviously it shaped me into the woman that I am today, partially. But choice is important. I also am a parent, a grandmother now, and I live still in the St. Louis City area. I'm currently trying to decide on if I'm going to relocate out of the city or stay in the city. But within the city guidelines, I don't believe at the present time St. Louis Public has what I would like for my children and grandchildren to have. They don't offer the quality of education that I'm looking for. They don't offer the safe space that I need for them to be in, for them to be able to be who they are. And right now, my youngest son has the opportunity to be in a different school district that he's never, in an environment that he's never been in before, similar to myself when I went to Parkway. And to see him thriving the way that he is, and to be able to be himself authentically, not worried about what shoes he's got on, not worried about sitting some joning on them. Those sorts of things for me are important because it's going to shape him into who he's going to be as a man one day. And so I think that choice is really important. And and I don't even know, even with St. Louis Public, once it gets to a point where they are completely whole and they are offering quality education and a safe space to be in, even in saying that, I still believe that people should have a choice. my tax dollars pay for school, partial of school, and I should have a choice where I want to send them. It should not be based upon or defined by my zip code because of where I live.
So you said something that was very important. You said authentic. They get to be their authentic self. So I'm thinking back, we met years ago. I mean, years ago, when I was just coming into the charter school space. I can remember the day, like you had on this burgundy leather jacket and you was standing up advocating, like the powerful force that you are, about why choice is important and what you wanted to see out of schools and what you were looking for in the next school. But that word authentic, you just said it. We came in contact or crossed paths with Kimberly Townsend around the same time. And she's now starting this school, the leadership school, in the 24-1 district that encompasses all of those little bitty municipalities and Normandy. You talked about your tax dollars and all of that. Can you speak to Kimberly and what you know about Kimberly?
I remember my very first encounter with her, and just as I do, I was advocating. I had observed, because I oversee transportation in my profession for the last 24 years, and so I had observed some things that I thought was unsafe. And I went to her, and she probably remembers this perhaps. I don't even know if I knew her name at that time, to be honest with you, but I knew that she was the assistant principal at the particular school we were at. And I went to her and said, hey, here's what I observed today, and here's what I think that you can do different for the safety of the students and everyone that's involved. And she received that. And I actually saw the changes implemented, and she thanked me, for providing her with that information. I would say my very first encounter with her was a very positive encounter. And I remember prior to approaching her, she was redirecting a student. And you could see the love in the redirection. The student was in trouble, but the student wasn't fearful or how do I say, it didn't appear that he was demeaned in any way. It was done in love. It was just, this is what you need to do, this is what you've done wrong, and here's the expectation. And the student went off, and they went off, and then I walked up to have that conversation. And so I would say from the very first encounter, it was a positive encounter. And I am excited to know that Ms. Townsend's going to be opening up a school. I have a granddaughter that is 2. I think I thought about it, I was like, Lord, I'm in the process of trying to figure out where we're going to live. And so the thought has crossed my mind about the benefits if she's able to go to the leadership school.
Wow. So Becoming Carmen is so transparent, and I operate in this space of just telling people I don't know what I don't know. And when I make a mistake, I'll tell them that. And you're helping to unleash the power that I am, and I appreciate that in you. But you said something else, like another powerful word. You said love. Another one of the values of the leadership school is love. And I'm saying this like I have been asking you for months to pull up and do an interview, and for whatever reason, you wasn't doing it, but you're showing up for this one. I want to kind of understand why, and then also put that word back in front of you that one of the values of the leadership school is love, and that's foundational for them.
Yeah.
Why is that word so important to you when you think about where your granddaughter is going to be going to school?
Well, Carmen, I tell you, as I sit here, it causes me to want to tear up, to be honest with you. And not, I guess, more from a place of concern for our children, concern for our world. When you look around, just with everything that's going on in our neighborhoods, everything that parents have to contend with in today's time, in COVID's time. You have COVID on top of violence, on top of poverty, on top of everything. And our students go home to this. And I say our students because it's not just my granddaughter or my children. It's the foster kids that I deal with. It is the kids that live in the neighborhood. And most of them are missing that one solid foundation, and that's love. They don't know what true love is. Obviously, I'm grateful for my relationship with God, because that's true love. That is the best definition and the best example of true love. But again, just for our babies to know what true love is. I think about a young man right now that I'm working with, one of my kiddos, and I've been working with him for almost 2 years. And education, he just struggles with. And it's because he wasn't given that foundation, that love from the very beginning. And every day I'm frustrated at my wits' end as we do this homeschooling thing, or virtual learning, I should say, trying to get him to understand the importance of doing that work. And so he's submitting assignments that he's done nothing on, things like that. But again, when you have that foundation, when you have that love, when you believe that people really genuinely care about you, then you begin to make change. So, for example, with this particular kid, I have to do these little small sessions with him on Sunday, where it's just me and him and we're working. And I believe that during those sessions, that even though I'm fussing in love, that he's getting something from them, and that hopefully he'll begin to show that on his own and doing his work. But I hope I answered your question. But I mean, when I think about love, it's just so many kids don't get that. I look at my granddaughter who, is 2. And so she's got all this love to give, and she's getting all this love back from me. But what about when she's in spaces where people may not be giving that to her? And if she didn't have what she has, and so many kiddos don't have that. And so when you think about school, that is where most of our kids spend most of their days. And if you don't have the right individuals over them, the right people with the right motives, allowing them to be who they are in that space, but at the same token, shaping them and helping them grow into who God wants them to be in love.
One of the things that Kimberly's school, and I don't want to quote because I'm learning too, but we know Kim is that she does lead with love, but she also believes, and I'm going to try to quote her words, that these little leaders are powerful and they have a voice and they have something to say. I'm trying to say it like Kim would say it, like they have something to say and they know what they want. Yeah. We believe in them and we want to empower them to say what they gotta say. What do you think about that, parent of a school leader empowering our young people to define their future?
It's funny that you say that, because I've read through the information about the leadership school. I've sat and listened to some conversations, but for some reason I missed that piece. And that is a piece that I truly believe in my house. I tell my kids all the time, I'm not raising babies, I'm raising leaders, I'm raising young adults. And so I teach them to make decisions. I don't demand you have to do this. Here it is, you have this assignment and you can give it your all, or you can waste it and get a 0, and that choice is yours. But here's the power in being a leader, being an adult, and what you should do. And so the fact that I honestly did not know that piece. I knew it, but I guess I didn't know it to that point. So again, that just resonates all the more why we need schools of choice, why we need schools like the leadership school, schools that are raising young leaders, because at the end of the day, we all are leaders. Whether we choose to stand up and do it, you're leading in some shape, form, or fashion every day. Your children are watching you, so you're leading them. So at some point, every child will be a leader. In what shape or form or fashion that is, obviously, only God knows that, but there is definite benefits to learning that early on and learning that from the beginning up, I should say. Those, again, are conversations that I have with my little 2-year-old granddaughter. No, you don't do this because somebody else did it. This is what you do. And when I look at my adult daughter now, whom I raised from the beginning to lead, she leads, she does, and she sets examples, and she's not a follower, she's a trendsetter, and so again, she is who she is because someone put love in her, someone took the time to teach her how to lead. And so, again, as I say, all of our babies that go home, they don't go home to the same environments for whatever reason because parents are dealing with other things, but they spend most of their time in that school space. And so, if they can get that throughout the course of the day, it's going to help to shape them into who they need to be.
I have one more question, then I want you to listen to something, and I want you to close us out with your thoughts. My last question, you've been in city schools, meaning you're a product, and your children. You've been in city schools, county schools, independent schools, charter schools, and I don't know if parochial schools and independent schools are the same. I don't know, but you've been in all of them, like every, and homeschooling. So you all the way across the board. Yeah. I'm gonna put all of those in the ball of a parent choice because they really are.
Yeah.
So you also know everything that's going on in Jefferson City, centering around education. You also understand some of the dynamics on the local level centering around education. The leadership school is set to launch in the 24-1. You know that is the county. What are your thoughts about choice, being in the county, charter schools, in this war within the public school and the charter schools, that there's some difference? Can you speak to that? And then I want you to listen to something.
So, as you said, Carmen, we've done it all. With each kiddo, with each stage of their life, we've done what works best for them because each of them are individuals. Each of them needs something different. And I say that I've raised 5 children, I birthed 4, raised 5, and now I'm helping to raise my granddaughter. And as Carmen said, I've done charter to parochial to independent to county, to DC. We've done it all. But I will tell you that school choice is important. It's really important. It's very important for kiddos to have a choice. And as I said in the beginning, it should not be defined by your zip code. It should not. Every child should be afforded the opportunity to get an education and to be in a space where they feel safe, where they can be authentically heard, where they can learn to lead. And so I hope I answered that question for you.
You did. So I want you to listen to a few minutes of this song. I had you listen to it, the beginning of it when we started. And now I just want you to listen to a few minutes of this song and then give us some closing words, and then I'll close us out. And for the community at large, when you do hear this recording, I own no rights to this music. Please let me know if you can't hear it, Norquise.
Kind of faint. I can hear it though, just barely. Did it stop?
You can hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it now. Are you trying to stop, Quinn?
I'm gonna stop it now. That's the Earth song, Michael Jackson. Like at like the 4-minute, 15-second mark, he starts asking, "What about us? What about us?"
Yeah.
Michael Jackson is powerful. Music is powerful. So many messages. And in this season of becoming Carmen and remembering some of the things that you've even said to me, if I just get out of my way, I'll realize how powerful I am. If these politicians and these blockers and all of these people would just get out of the way, what will happen in education for our kids?
Oh my gosh. I can only imagine what would happen. As they say, the sky's the limit. Because they're power. We hold the power as adults to make decisions for people that can't make decisions for themselves. And so often as adults, we get so wrapped up in what we want, what we think, that we fail to realize or listen to what is really needed to assist the people that we started fighting about to begin with. And so I would say, again, if we would just get out of our own way, and that includes, when the word of God says that when I minister to you, I minister to myself. So even when I told Carmen to get out of her way so that she can see the power that she has, that goes for me and everyone else, that we have to get out of our own way. It's not about me. It's not about mine, but it's about the greater good of everyone, about everyone. And so again, just the sky's the limit. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. The sky is the limit. Can you imagine a student starting from the very beginning in an environment where there's love, there's leadership, the child can be who they are. It's a safe space. Nobody's calling names or hitting them on the playground. Yes, those things happen, but it's what we do when they happen, how we redirect them, the conversation, the coaching that goes into that. That's going to help to shape them into the individuals that we see now out in the streets killing each other. And some of that goes back to, for whatever reason, there was a disconnect somewhere. To take a life, there has to be a disconnect. And so again, that foundational piece, I mean, the school, I think just that love foundation, building on that, building on leadership characteristics, building on allowing them to be safe, allowing them to be authentic, teaching them the power that they have. It's going to, the sky's the limit for those kiddos. It is the limit, and it is my hope that I am able to partake of that with my granddaughter.
Well, it is more to come on the Leadership School. Kimberly, this is one past parent that believes in you, believes in what's coming to the 24-1 to support the community. We hope that it empowers other schools to rise to the challenge. We see partnerships, we see opportunities for growth, revitalizations of the community at large. We see unity. We see the neighborhood and its constituents mobilizing, saying, we want better, we can have better. We see Normandy School District thriving with partnerships like the Leadership School and other early education schools that are sprouting up in the district and in the city. But what we know is it's the parents that play a vital role. So on Becoming Carmen, there will be more parents that will be coming up, standing in the gap, explaining why the Leadership School is a necessary choice. Leave the politics at the door, people. Give the school an opportunity to come to the table. We see in real time what you are doing, and we the people, like we're just two regular parents, so are coming to let you know it's not okay to block a choice from a parent and from the communities. We know what you're doing. It's not okay. And we stand in solidarity saying, give parents a place at your tables. Thank you, Norquise.
You're welcome. Hey, Carmen, one other thing, you said that I don't pull up. This is true. I'm not one for social media. It has its place, certainly, but it's just not my thing. But I will say that if it's a cause that I need to pull up that I really believe in, I will pull up and support.
There it is, bat out. So this is me telling you, like, I know my friend. So when it's something that she know will shift the trajectory of a community, that she knows will impact the people that's most impacted, the marginalized community, Norquise Cooper is going to pull up and say what she has to say. So that means that Kimberly Townsend must be about that life. That means you must believe in Kimberly.
I do. What I didn't say is my oldest daughter had an opportunity to be with Kimberly in another program that she's in that has nothing to do with the leadership school. But even in that space, she came home and shared some things that Kim had shared with her that again helped her to shift in her leadership. So again, you know, she has, and I don't even know if she remembers that, but it just crossed my mind about a conversation that me and my daughter had after that. But again, just speaking to that leadership, just building that quality in individuals. And again, just even in that space that she was in with Habakkuk, she talked to her about some things and put her in a position to do some more leadership stuff while she was in that space.
Wow. So, I mean, we can continue to talk and talk and talk. I'm going to close it out now and say more to come from more parents. This is unscripted. This will not be edited. It will air just like this so you can understand we about that life. Norquise, I'll call you in a second, okay?
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.